economy. Please welcome CHCC Chairman of the Board and Convention hosts Bob Gutierrez and Vice Chairwoman of the Board, Veronica Corona.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bob Gutierrez, and I'm the Chairman of the California Hispanic Chambers of Commerce. And I want to welcome you to the first ever virtual CHCC statewide convention. California small businesses have faced an unprecedented time, an economic disturbance, fires, a pandemic. Small business owners have persevered through many challenges. Their stories are inspiring examples of how they are using creativity, connection, and community to navigate their survival in the face of adversity. We understand these are unprecedented times, and we thank you for safely joining us from the comfort of your office or your home. Thank you for joining us at the 2020 CHCC Virtual Convention. I am joined by our CHCC Vice Chairwoman of the Board, Veronica Corona.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman Bob. And good afternoon, everyone. Great seeing you virtually. I look forward to seeing you all in person soon. We have an exciting 2.5-day program that includes dynamic speakers and workshops focusing on business development, economic and community development, organizational capacity, and leadership. Other topics will consist of international trade, Latina Empowerment Procurement Day, and corporate diversity and inclusion. I'd like to start by thanking our sponsors, our presenting sponsor, Southern California Edison. Thank you, Edison, for your support, as well as our other sponsors, Wells Fargo Bank, Bank of America, California State Water Service, T-Mobile, Spectrum, JP Morgan Chase, Coca-Cola, Aetna, Facebook, Tito's Vodka, De La Cu, Energy Upgrade California, California Water Association, Kaiser, Union Bank, Southwest Gas, Intuitive, and our strategic partners, Latino Business Action Network, Opportunity Fund, California Hispanic Chamber of Commerce Small Business Development Center Affiliate Program, Sacramento Valley Translations, and Wunsalting. Right now we have our crew live on site in Sacramento with our California Hispanic Chambers of Commerce Central Region Chair, Mr. Marcus Gomez, to welcome you this afternoon and tell you all about the California Chamber of Commerce Central Region and his business experience. Let's see what the team is up to. Marcus.
Hello, Bob. Hello, Veronica. My name is Marcus Gomez. Welcome to the 41st Annual Virtual Convention. I am the Central Region Chair for the California Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. My company is California Clothing Recyclers, and I hope to see you all soon in person. The Central Region is probably one of the biggest regions in California in our chambers. We cover from Bakersfield all the way up to Chico. We have quite a few chambers in the region. It's hard for us all to get together, and with the COVID on now, we're meeting virtually through Zoom, and it's kind of brought us all together. As regional chair for the Central Valley, I envision that the role of the chambers in the Central Valley is to make their small businesses more aware of what's going on. The thing about small businesses that I've learned throughout the years being involved with the chamber is that most small businesses, that's the first concern, is their business. And they don't have time to get involved. They don't have time to read the paper or get into the news, or, you know, their main focus is getting their business and improving on it and getting things done. So I think the chambers play a good part in that, to educate them to, you know, what is going on and how things, especially like COVID-19, are affecting them and their business, and how they can help them to get through all of this COVID-19 and the pandemic that's going on right now. I've been a member of chambers for, since 1989. I first started with my father when he was in business, getting on the board. Through those years, I saw my father be very involved in the chamber, but never benefited from the chamber. And being involved with the chamber helped me get into the doors of your PG&Es, your SMUDs, your AT&Ts. And I tell people all the time, you need to get involved. They need to see you. A lot of these companies, they can bring on, they can have their little sessions of MWBE and say, we want to buy from you, we want to buy. A lot of that going into the front door doesn't necessarily work. But if you get involved and you get to know the people at the top, that's what gets you in the door to getting contracts. I've gotten contracts with SMUD, PG&E, AT&T, Campbell Soup, just by being on the board and knowing those people in those organizations. Yeah, I grew up around small business all my life. My dad was a small businessman for 40-some years. I spun off of him 22 years ago because I wanted to do what he did. I liked being my own boss. I liked the challenge, buying my own building, building my business, you know, my clientele. And right now, we're in some tough times, and there's a lot of challenges out there. And being in business for 22 years, you know, I've met some of those challenges and been able to overcome them. And I think through the chambers and through the help of the chambers, that a lot of small businesses can overcome a lot of those challenges. It's been a good ride. I enjoy it. I've been doing this with my wife for 22 years, and you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, I was once asked, what's your favorite place? And I told the guy, I said, my warehouse. And he looked at me and he goes, really? And I go, yeah. I mean, to me, that's my favorite place. I love being in my warehouse.
Thank you, Marcus, for your leadership. We certainly appreciate you telling us your story and sharing with us what's going on in the Central region. So thank you for that. Small businesses find themselves looking for resources these days and having to embrace unprecedented change. At the CHCC, we're proud of our SBDC affiliate program. The program ensures underserved small businesses and their owners are provided with quality consulting and advertising services and are cognizant of the full range of economic development tools and resources available to them. Through the relationship, the CHCC has been able to reach further into the Hispanic, diverse, and immigrant communities to build trust and understanding of services we provide. For over 24 years, Marcus Murillo has pushed himself to continue to learn and experiment with food and flavors. In April of 2019, he was presented with the opportunity to purchase Top of the World from the original owners that decided to sell after 26 years and that decided to retire. Marcus and his wife began the brutal process of applying for a loan in late 2019. After 5 long months and being turned down by 2 banks, Marcus's wife, Brooke, sought help in creating a bulletproof business plan. She came across the CHCC Small Business Development Center. Having never heard of the organization, it appeared as though the SBDC offered the help they needed, and it was free of charge. What initially seemed too good to be true, she scrolled the list of participant affiliates and came across the CHCC, California Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. She decided to reach out, optimistic herself that an organization that supports and understands Latinos and their struggles would make her husband more comfortable and confident in the confusing process. This is where we meet Oscar Garcia. Chef Marcos' story is a true inspiration for our 2020 CHCC virtual convention. Our team is live on site at Top of the World so we can hear Marcos' story. Hi, Marcos.
Hi, my name is Marcos Murillo.
My name is Brooke Murillo.
And we're the owners of Top of the World up here in Sacramento. Well, COVID-19 definitely was like unexpected thing that the whole world is experiencing it. but my opinion, my part, I feel kind of like it came on the wrong time because we just purchased tapas month before COVID-19 hit. So it's been really hard.
It's changed how we had to completely run the restaurant. We were completely shut down for a whole month, which he kept himself busy by painting and doing improvements in the restaurant. And then we transitioned to takeout only.
So it's been a little hard, but other than that, it's just like try to stay positive, making good food.
When this hit, we applied for just about every possible financial help that we could get. We applied for the PPP, and we actually were able to receive that pretty quickly because we had just received our business loan a month prior to that. We applied for some of the city grants, we applied for the EIDL loan, and if it wasn't for those things, there is no way that we would have been able to even maintain any type of business. We had tried and applied for a loan at a bank, and we went through the process for probably like 3 months, and at the end of the 3 months they denied our loan, and it was really frustrating and heartbreaking just because we had gone through what seemed like we thought we were on our way and good. And then I was looking for help with a business plan because I thought that would help in the next loan process, and I came across the SBDC, and I'd never heard of them before, and I did a little bit more research and found that the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce was an affiliate of the program. So I had originally sought out the California Hispanic Chambers of Commerce because I thought that it would be great for him to find people who were bilingual.
It's really nice that these people can speak both language.
It feels more personal.
And then, yes, so it's just attaching.
It feels more personal. It feels like they're more invested on a personal level versus just on a business aspect. And I think that just knowing that it's somebody who understands his background, his culture, and so I thought I'd reach out, hoping that, finding somebody who, spoke his native language and kind of understood his culture and would help him feel a little bit more comfortable in the process and help him kind of understand and help me as well. So that was how we met Oscar.
So it was totally a new thing for us.
Yeah.
We have no idea what you have to do to buy a business. Yes, I've been in the business for a long time, but I didn't have no idea that all the process that it takes to get there. And yes, we did find this great guy somewhere out there. His name is Oscar. It is awesome.
So when we initially started out with working with the SBDC and Oscar, he had said to us that he not only was going to help us with acquiring the acquisition of the restaurant, but that he would be with us along the way to make sure that we were successful. Once the loan went through and COVID hit and we had a whole new set of problems, we were able to reach out again, and that was when he sent us help with, to apply for the PPP, and truly was there to help us through something else, another challenge, and has remained helping us with navigating all of the challenges that COVID is presenting. So I know, without the help that we had, we were at the point of just wanting to give up because I didn't even know, neither of us knew where to start after that first loan was denied. So working with the SBDC and the California Hispanic Chambers of Commerce has not only helped us with acquiring the restaurant, but it's helped us make sure that we are successful, and that they assured us from the beginning that they were going to be here to help us make sure that we succeed. And they have, and we are still in business, and we are managing COVID with their help, and they continue to offer us help when we need it as our needs change.
Thank you, Marcus and Brooke, for sharing your story. I look forward to visiting Top of the World while I'm in Sacramento this week. I'm very excited to introduce our keynote speaker for today. He is no stranger to embracing change and making history. Javier Gutierrez was named as the Arizona Coyotes president, CEO, and alternate governor on June 8, 2020. In his role, Mr. Gutierrez oversees all business operations, strategic planning, significant organizational decision-making, and government relations for the club. Mr. Gutierrez is the first Latino president and CEO in the history of the National Hockey League. By the way, hockey is my favorite sport. Mr. Gutierrez joins the Coyotes from his position as managing director at Clear Lake Capital Group. Mr. Gutierrez has a 20-plus year career as a business executive, investor, and deal maker focused on investment management, corporate strategy and operations finance, and business development. I would like to welcome our keynote speaker, the Arizona Coyotes president and CEO, alternate governor, Javier Gutierrez.
Thank you, Bob and Veronica, and thank you, everyone. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak at the California Hispanic Chamber of Commerce virtual convention, and wishing you all a great virtual convention. My name is Javier Gutierrez. I am the president and CEO of the Arizona Coyotes. Very honored and proud to be the first Latino president and CEO in the National Hockey League, and one of the very few, sadly, Latinos in the front office as the CEO of a sports franchise in the United States. So I have been very fortunate to live my American dream. I am an immigrant from born in Guadalajara, Mexico. I came to the United States when I was 5, initially to Los Angeles, and then I grew up in the Bay Area in San Jose, California. My parents, very working class. My mom was a stay-at-home mom until my youngest sibling went to kindergarten, and then she volunteered at school and eventually rose to run the migrant education program for the Evergreen School District in East San Jose. And my father was a mechanic, first at the GM plant in Fremont, which is now the Tesla plant, and eventually headed the facilities for the county of Santa Clara. So very humble beginnings, but education was highly valued in my household. I eventually was admitted and went to the oldest high school in California, which is an all-boys Jesuit high school in San Jose, Bellarmine College Preparatory, where I was exposed to a very different socioeconomic community. And I went to school with the sons and the nephews of the elite in Silicon Valley, and that really changed my trajectory. The Jesuits really took me and my family under their wing and did it quite well academically, and from there had the great fortune of going on to Harvard, where quite frankly I thought I wanted to be an elected official and thought that was the path of being in the Jesuit motto, a man for others and helping out my community. And I ended up working for the youngest mayor in the United States, a gentleman by the name of Fidel Vargas, who was the mayor of Baldwin Park in 1992, 18 months after he himself had graduated from Harvard. And after working there for a summer, which I helped bring In-N-Out Burgers as headquarters back with Baldwin Park, I asked him for a letter of recommendation for a public policy program, and he chose not to give it to me. He wanted me to bring capital into communities and really felt that in particular Latino communities needed to have more capital in their communities and in their businesses, and obviously near and dear to this gathering, to see entrepreneurs strive and thrive. And so I went to Wall Street, and I found out I really enjoyed being a deal maker, and so that really changed my trajectory. So after college, started in investment banking, did actually a stint at the National Football League working for the CFO of the league, which many years later now I'm back in sports. I then returned back to Stanford, initially as a JD MBA, and ultimately only finished my law degree. And after working at a law firm for a couple of years, moved to Los Angeles. This is really the community where I thought I wanted to pursue my personal passions around the issue of economic empowerment. I then had a business plan in mind in which I partnered with a couple of guys out of New York to create some of the first public pension fund-backed private equity funds investing in real estate in urban communities. And so one of my first projects was actually a mixed income project in Lincoln Heights, which brought for sale housing to Lincoln Heights for the first time in almost 40 years. And we made investments in places like Harlem and places like South Side of Chicago. And really the premise was that these communities had incredible economic opportunities, but didn't have any capital. And so We raised over $1 billion of institutional money to do that. And then in 2010, I had a chance meeting with Alex Morello, one of the few Latino billionaires in the country. And if you ever have a meal with Alex, two things are certain. He's going to be late, and it's going to be a very long meal. And sure enough, a 12 noon lunch started at 1:30 and ended up at 5. And in the course of that lunch meeting, we talked about him doing many more deals in new industries, and I joined as the President Chief Investment Officer at the Morello Group. Very excited to work with him. And so was there for about 7.5 years. We bought a number of companies in new industries, media, entertainment, casino, hotel business, and it was fantastic. And then after 2017, I really wanted to get back in the institutional investment world. So very amicably departed from the Morello Group. Alex and his longtime business partner Luis Armona and I, we remained business partners, owning the largest Latino-owned bank, which is Commercial Bank of California, based in Orange County and Los Angeles County. But I returned to the institutional investment business and actually partnered with my roommate from Stanford, very successful individual in the private equity business. His name is Jose Feliciano, not the singer, as I always have to say. And Clearly Capital is the largest Latino-owned private equity group in the country, with almost 25 billion of assets under management, and thought that was really what I was going to do for the remainder of my career until I moved on to teaching or something in the nonprofit world. But in 2019, Alex Morello bought the Arizona Coyotes, and I was very happy for him and his family. I know that sports ownership was something that he had always wanted to do. And I went to his press conference, and that was the first time he started asking me, so what do you think of Arizona? And I sort of chuckled, and I told him I was very happy for him. But earlier this year, he came to me, and really the opportunity not only to partner with my business partner and my friend and someone who I had a great admiration for, but the compelling business opportunity. This is a franchise that really is in a growth market. And but really for me, I was at a point in my career where I also wanted to, within my professional efforts, to make a difference. As I tell people all the time, sports is my platform, but making an impact is my purpose. And in this role, I'm able to really bring to light a lot of issues that are very near and dear to me, and in particular this issue of the economic empowerment of the Latino community. And so very excited. Been there for less than 4 months. Sadly did have to leave my beloved California for Arizona, but welcome all of you to now become Coyotes fans and to follow us and to be part of our pack. You know, COVID has been incredibly challenging for so many reasons. First and foremost, it's a health crisis. And, you know, having employees, I have about 140 team members in our offices to make sure that they're safe. We have returned all of our employees. We had initially had them work from home and then work half on and half off. And so very recently we've had them all come back. And so my challenge to my executive team is to make sure that everybody's safe and that we're following protocols and that we're being innovative in how we're contact tracing and really making sure everyone is safe and sound in our office space. But then it's also the economic challenges. Our season was stopped. We did return and finish the Stanley Cup playoffs in a bubble up in Edmonton and in Toronto, but the finals were played in Edmonton. But it's been very challenging, and I think as leaders, it's really important for us to be very transparent and honest with our team members that we don't have all the answers. We don't control this pandemic. We don't control the economic fallout, but you have to put a plan and put a stake in the ground as to how you will manage it. And then you make adjustments and you course correct, and you're very transparent and you're constantly communicating with your team members. And that's really the best that you can do, is put a plan, articulate it, and let everybody know that you got to be very flexible. Really the opportunity to come back and work with Alex and work with Luis Armona really was very compelling to me. And in particular, I've always thought that our work with Morello Enterprises, which is really one of the really shining portfolio companies of the Morello Group, being in the infrastructure and construction business with companies that have been around for decades and have been at the top of class, in terms of safety, and in terms of performance, and in terms of being a value-add partner for all of the companies that we work with, whether it be Edison or the gas company or our various GCs that we partner with. I'm very proud of the work that we do to really help communities, to really rebuild them, to really be a value-add business partner. And the recognition, obviously, by you all is incredibly, well-deserved. And I'm very, very honored to be a part of the Morello Group, which has such a sterling reputation of really being a safe, a successful, and clearly a value-add partner for all of our partners. You know, I've said this publicly a number of times that whether you be a professional sports franchise or a small shopkeeper in an urban, setting, we're all facing these incredibly challenging times. And so the first thing I would say is rely on your network, rely on enterprises like the California Hispanic Chamber to help you tap into whether it be best practices, technical expertise, capital sources, or even other potential partners that can help you get through this pandemic. Don't be shy of reaching out. Don't be shy of asking for help, and understand that, again, no matter what industry you're in, we're all facing the health crisis and this economic crisis. And I think it's important for you to think outside the box as to who you are making relationships with and who you are tapping into, and really leveraging your network. So obviously we're very excited and proud of all of the portfolio companies that we own. And if there's any way that the Morello Group and all of its holdings can be a partner, can be an ally, can be a supporter, we're here, and we'd love to be helpful.
Thank you, Javier, for sharing your story and your inspiring words. We certainly appreciate your participation today. Thank you for joining us this afternoon for the first general session. We're excited to have you all join us today, and we hope you will enjoy our first ever CHCC statewide virtual convention. I urge you all to attend as many workshops online, both in English and in Spanish, as you can today. And I look forward to joining Veronica and I later this afternoon with the CHCC virtual mixer and Tito's Toast. We'll see you then. Thanks.
We thank you for joining us at today's general session, and we invite you to participate in the workshop and panel sessions. Convention schedules are posted within the convention website and within the attendee hub. As attendees, while logged in, you are able to access all breakout sessions inside of the attendee hub. Join Chamber CEOs from across the nation at the Rising to the Challenge, a new era of Chambers of Commerce session from 1 to 2 p.m. Learn how community capital can be attained through the know-who's, who will give you the know-how at the Creating Community Capital session from 1 to 2 p.m. Learn to navigate the smart city journey at the What Does It Take to Be a Smart City session from 1 to 2 p.m. Learn from PR and marketing experts at your fingertips. Tips and tricks for marketing and communications session from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Learn how your business can take advantage of the financial assistance and incentive programs that will benefit your business's bottom line from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Interested in serving on a major corporate or nonprofit board? Join experts for a discussion at the Strategic Approach to Board Directorship from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Lastly, learn to leverage SBDC resources so your business can grow and succeed in today's environment from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. As a reminder, all sessions have live audio interpretation in Spanish. Please follow the directions on the screen to access the conference live for Spanish. Thank you, and we will see you soon.